Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 135. What's your favorite part of the hobby? Um, we got quite a few people in the chat already saying hello to everyone, so hello to everyone. Nguea and Charles and Richard and Eric and Telemachus and Meandering Mike. We are going to have McMurray here in a brief little while, and we might also have Reese show up here in a second. Pardon me, I need to extricate a cat. She's going nuts. Out, go, chat. No, wrong direction. Go, chat. Okay, fine. Stay inside. So I did not get rid of the cat. All right. So what's been going on? Well, Wiley Games has still got their discount on the stuff for Tales of Horror. That's still good until October 31st, if I remember correctly. I believe that's 15 or 20% off. So head on over there. This next weekend, McMurray and I will be joining the Baron over at Wiley headquarters, or as it is being known right now, Castle Von Wiley. So we will definitely, yeah, it's Cat 1, not J0. Um, you need to let me clip your claws because those are sharp. So we got some gaming this coming Saturday, so that'll be fun. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be doing any live streaming of the games. We might. If we do, of course, we'll be over on the Wiley Games YouTube channel and not mine. So if I'll let folks know if we are going to be doing that. So starts at 11 a.m., goes till probably about 6 or so. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of spooky time stuff. Okay, well, let's try this again. Come on. No. Ouch. All right. Cat is vacated. All right. So, what else has been going on? This last weekend, I went out to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival with my dear, sweet, loving wife, and met up with my bestest friend in the whole world, Chris Copeland, and his family, and friend of mine, some other friends of mine, and we had a great time out there. Got to see a couple of kids for a brief amount of time while we were visiting in Kansas City, so we had that going for us. What else? That's about it. I have still not spent a whole lot of time doing a lot of hobby stuff, so nothing really to report there. I did change up, and there's Mr. McMurray now. Hello, McMurray.
What's up, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Just letting people know what's been going on, what's happening. Letting them know that this Saturday, you and I are going to be at Wiley headquarters, also known as Castle Von Wiley, this weekend. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be having any of the games live streamed on Wiley's YouTube channel, but we'll let you know if we do. And was just briefly talking about the time spent over at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival.
How was that?
it was fun. It was good. I was needing to find a new cloak pin for the top part of my kilt, a new belt buckle for my belt that holds everything together because the old one got a little corroded and literally fell apart, literally disintegrated in my hands about a year ago. And I bought Donna a tiara.
Nice.
Because she deserves it.
Nice.
What games am I planning to play this coming Saturday? Well, I'm definitely going to be playing the Revenant Hunt, and because that's always a blast. I don't think anybody has ever gotten out of the Revenant Hunt unscathed. I think maybe once we beat them, but it was very costly in the price of characters going dead. I know that McMurray's got his weird Civil War going.
Yep, we got Halloweeny Civil War.
Hopefully I get to get in on that. And then who knows what else is going to be there. So
hang on. It was at least 3 of the other games were in the email. Just a second here.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's not.
Let's see here.
Oh, that is the right one. Let's see here.
No.
We've got the Revenant Hunt. We've got Post-Apocalyptic Trick or Treat, and then Terror Island. Also, I'm not sure if there's any other stuff, but I know we got those 3.
Yeah.
And then the Goofy Civil War. So should be rather entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a blast, if you will.
Accurate. Absolutely.
Yeah, annual Revenant Hunt. Yeah, post-apocalyptic trick-or-treating, whatever that's going to be. Terror Island, and then, of course, your game.
I would assume post-apocalyptic Trick or Treat is some sort of Wasteland Warriors, like Hunt.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Always.
Definitely be interesting. It's a fantasy Trick or Treat game by Ken. Ken always puts on a great game.
Is that what the
I think so.
Trick or Treat game is?
I think so. And the best part about it is dinner is provided.
Yeah,
it's going to be hot dog / chili dog / chili bar.
Yeah, pretty excited. That's always a smash hit.
Yeah. Mandarin Mike wants to know, will Sickles' leg rise again? Just his leg.
I don't have Sickles' leg in here. I've got Abraham Lincoln, the zombie hunter, and some sort of Confederate necromancer going on. But there's no.
There you go.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no Dan Sickles' leg as of right now. At some point in time, it'll be there.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Telemachus says it's a civil lean.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the American civil lean, to be exact.
Very Halloween ground.
Yes. So, Eric says, I'm unfamiliar with that game. So what the Revenant Hunt is, it's a basic, it's a regular game of Fistful of Lead, Tales of Horror, and each of the crews or teams, whatever you want to call it, is going around this landscape, which has got a cemetery in it and some other spooky type places. Like I think there's a pumpkin patch. And what you do is you're going and looking for, if I remember correctly, you're going and looking for either the tome or the tchotchke that will keep the master vampire either dead or at bay, right? But as you're moving through there, you're making noise, and of course, when you make noise, that stirs up the undead, and you got to fight the undead. And especially when you start digging around for the little tchotchke that you're going after, that really stirs them up, and it gets nasty fast sometimes, and it's a lot of fun. Correct. Hey Jeffy, how you doing, buddy? He says, pop in to say hi and how are you? Hear from you. Mike, does the necromancer wield Stonewall's arm as a staff? Well, isn't the necromancer Stonewall?
I think the necromancer might be Stonewall Jackson resurrected. I'm not sure. We got to figure that out still.
Yeah. So if it is, yeah,
the creative department's still working on that.
So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Worst case scenario, if I remember, I'll take photos and post them up on the Facebook page and in the Discord group. So, yeah, lots of fun. Now it's said that how was it worded? Let's see. Costumes are encouraged. Break out that hat or cape that you've been dying to wear.
Their costumes are encouraged?
Yeah.
I missed that part. Okay.
Nice. It's Robin just sent out an email today, in fact, at 11:50 this morning. Thank you for your ticket purchase. We welcome you to location. Basement generals are encouraged to arrive early to help with meeting and greeting new wargamers to the headquarters, etc. and so forth. Parking. We're expected to park on Necessary Road. I think that's the road back behind their house. And that leaves parking out front for the gamers new to the headquarters. And then costumes are encouraged. Break out that hat or cape you've been dying to wear. I may or may not wear my kilt.
How did I miss this? Wait, I'm sad. I gotta find.
It's from Robin. It's not like from Wiley Games. It is from Robin directly.
Yeah. Oh, here. Okay, I think I was looking in the wrong email.
It's the email that you use to buy the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why. My PayPal is tied to that email, but then the email that I use for like the registration of games and stuff is the email that isn't just the dumping ground. Right. But anyways, all right, let's see here. Outstanding. There's a provided fucking drawbridge. What?
I don't know. It might be one of their fence sections that got blown down and they haven't put back up yet.
Maybe. Like, there's a distinct possibility, but that's badass. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, so it is. Oh, but you can't get there from whatever the main road is. You got to go. Okay, well, screw it. Cool.
Yeah, I I'm going to hold my
Sweet.
map.
Yeah, it's what's right behind their house. But anyways, well, yeah. So long story short, if you guys are in the Kansas City area, or you can get to the Kansas City area on Saturday, that's going to be absolutely awesome. It always is.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic. Jay puts on a great game. Yeah.
Okay. I see how that works. So yeah, we'll get into the neighborhood the same way.
Yeah, you just turn left on the first
drive
street
all
instead of the second.
T's and do 2 lefts and drive back.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But Yes, so that's outstanding. I'm excited to see what all gets brought out and played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be pretty slick. I tell you what though, so Toddy and I played Rebels and Patriots again. That was super fun.
Yeah. Cool.
We test played the scenario yesterday. Well, we had kind of a final test play. Let's call it a final test play of the scenario yesterday. Worked out pretty well. It's pretty even. Nobody just ran rush shot or the others. Seemed like a pretty entertaining scenario. Should be pretty fun, and a good time all around.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you really want at that point? Is the veteran war game we're going to make it out? Do you know?
No. I think it's drill weekend for him.
Oh, okay.
It's always drill weekend when it's something fun, right?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, not gonna be able to make it. And I talked with Joel and Copeland, and Copeland is definitely pussing out. Joel might puss out.
Why? I don't get it, man. They live in Kansas City.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
Kills me, but whatever.
All I know is if I lived in Kansas City, I would definitely be over there every Thursday night.
I'm about to say I'd be there pretty much every Thursday, but that's not the point.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there, right?
Right, yeah, that's whatever. Such is life. There are a kind of surprising number of Rebels and Patriots kind of like support items, but then also so Osprey Blue Books, and I'm sure Osprey Blue Books are really getting put through the ringer right now because Little Wars TV did their video about their favorite Osprey rule books. But like for most of them, the vast majority of the support is community based, right, and community generated. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can certainly make things more difficult than they otherwise would be, right? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so anyways, long story short, there's a lot of support out there. It's just very, very different.
Yeah,
it's really cool, really good. Like I just found a version 2 quick reference sheet that's like done up in an older style font, and it prints out, tan, so the paper looks a little worn. Like it.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty slick. It's not necessarily something I was thinking I was going to find, but that's also kind of the nice thing when you do have user generated, material, is that you get a little more creativity sometimes than you would otherwise.
Right.
But
yeah, I like stuff like that.
It's certainly pretty cool. I mean, you can allow access to file URLs. That's on. Boop. Oh. Man, Chrome's a pain in my ass sometimes, but yeah.
I've stopped using Chrome. I use Firefox. If I can't, like for StreamYard for whatever reason doesn't work with Safari on my Mac. So
really,
I'm using
That's all. That's all I ever use it on my phone is in Safari.
Yeah, it works fine. Yeah,
Well, let's
on the
not say
computer.
fine, but
Well, yeah.
but it does
Um,
work. Yeah.
but yeah, on the Mac, for whatever reason, it doesn't. It outright, when I go to StreamYard to log in, it outright says, "Oh, sorry, can't use it here. Got to
Oh,
use
there you go.
Chrome or Firefox." Oh, yeah,
Nice.
for fuck's sake. All right, fine.
Nice.
So I'm currently painting a couple of F-16s. I'm actually painting here, guys.
I was about to say, I think I'm gonna set this aside. I'll go print crap out tomorrow, and I'm gonna start painting on a little surprise action for this weekend as well.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
So, I am working on. I'm gonna use my 6mm stuff to play test my Cold War gone hot stuff using. I think I'm just gonna use bigger battles instead of Battlesuit Alpha because really, the only reason I would use Battlesuit Alpha is if I was using mechs, and there aren't any mechs to be had. So, and I think really there's nothing that much different.
Yeah. I mean, so the only reason I was talking about using Battlesuit Alpha for anything remotely historical was when I was joking around about doing a Kill the Rat game.
Yeah.
And that's because Rata is so huge that
Right.
it acts as a battle suit, right? Like it fills that
Yeah.
sort of niche because it's so giant that it's comically huge, right? Like putting a Titan on the table in 40K. Like, what the shit is that thing? You know, it doesn't make any sense, but guess what? It's here. So now we need to come up with rules for it because otherwise you'd be trying to fill a vehicle slot. But anyways, yeah. Plus, in Battlesuit Alpha, tanks aren't the main focus as opposed to in your 1950s armored warfare, or sorry, not 1950s, 1980s armored warfare. Tanks are the thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, you've got lighter vehicles and infantry that can actually do something. The crucial part there being can do something, as opposed to in Battlesuit Alpha where infantry kind of just die.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I like the aircraft component and the combined arms component of Battlesuit Alpha, but and maybe if we play tested it enough, I don't know if it would need changes or anything like that. We could probably figure out a way to do it just without battle suits, but then that you're using like a third of the book, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if that's the combat you're looking for. But
exactly, yeah. So, but it's I'm looking more at, and I'm sure I can glean a little bit of stuff out of Battlesuit Alpha, like for flyers, like for helicopters or for fighters, ground attack fighters, and that type of stuff. I can glean out of that. But yeah, I think for survivability of infantry, just using bigger battles is going to be the way to go. Not that infantry really has a whole lot of survivability against tanks, but probably more so than in Battlesuit Alpha.
Well, it's not necessarily that they have better survivability against tanks; it's that they do stand a very reasonable chance at killing tanks, right? Like you've got tows and javelins and what have you. I don't know if that regardless. Anyways, long story short, you've got that capability in your infantry that understandably when you're shooting at a mech that's 10 stories tall isn't quite as much there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm gonna play test that at J3N, which is coming up in about a month. And I'm contemplating as to whether I'm going to revive CJ3. Not sure. All depends on what weather looks like, to be honest.
In January?
Yeah.
Cold?
Yeah.
Besides but at the same time, like, you can't, like, setting it based on weather, like, you can't expect people to show up, with that little, you know what I mean? Like, you got to have.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take a look at what the prognostication here in about another, at the beginning of November, I'm going to kind of take a look at what the long range outlook is like from NOAA Weather Service is saying for this winter. And if they say it's going to be, dry and cold, yeah, we'll move forward in January. If they come back and say, no, it's going to be, we're looking at Snowmageddon again, then I might push it off to maybe later in February. So we'll see what happens. There will be a decision made by the end of November to let everybody know. We got Scalar Gremlin in the house saying, hey, all. Jeffy is saying, I apologize for not keeping up with you guys' channel events. I've been a little sidetracked lately. That's okay. Chuck says,
Jeffy's
no worries.
Been kicking the shit out of the golf course recently, so he's been.
Yeah. Well, he's wanting to get it all in before, the weather turns to crap.
Been rather more busy. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That's understandable. It's a finite season. But also, just for those of you who are in the comments, give Jeffy an attaboy for, dominating the golf scene in East Central, I guess, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Just kind of a big deal if you play golf in West Virginia, folks.
Yep. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, I'm not. Jeff is, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's not get the wrong idea here.
Yeah. Gamers with Ashley is here from Gamers with Coffee. How you doing, Ashley? Glad to have you here. Nigoy says, you guys are quick with the wit and whatnot, so yes, no backhanded compliments. Oh, he's referring to, he had said that me and Mike and Scalar Gremlin, the two text-savvy viewers, nice to see both.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Scalar Gremlin says, savvy is not usually an adjective that gets tossed my way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Question mark. Good to hear that you're doing well. So yeah, I've got the cards made for the major players of the armor. I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do infantry.
Yeah.
And then I think I got them also. So we just need to figure out, get it on the table and play it and see what happens. I think using my 6mm stuff, I might make a single base be the equivalent of a platoon. And that way, when everything's moving around, have it be a company as the maneuver element.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, when you activate a company. So you'll be activating 4 M1s or 3 T-72s.
That's a platoon, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, so it's So what it'll be for the M1s is you've got 3 platoons in a company,
Correct.
and then your headquarters.
Okay.
So that's why there'll be 4 stands in the company.
Yes.
And then I might do the same thing with the Soviets. Whereas the Americans are 3 platoons of 4 tanks with the M60s or the M1s, the Soviets are 3 platoons of 3 tanks each.
Yeah.
So they'll have the same number of stands plus the HQ, but they'll have less firepower.
Okay.
Because it's 10 tanks compared to 14 tanks.
Yeah.
I think that's how I'll work it. And if I go with them 60s, now this is where it gets tricky because the M60s are 17 tanks to a platoon or to a company, but they're 105 millimeter compared to 120 millimeter guns, so they're not as powerful. So I still got to work that out.
I mean, ultimately, just put them in their historic tables of organization, and people can understand that shit wasn't fair. Like,
exactly. No, but I'm just saying that it'll probably balance out because the 120 millimeter cannon on the M1A1 is more powerful than the 105 millimeter cannon on the M60.
correct.
So that's, so it should work out. Reese said he's taking the dogs out to refresh the minefield, and he'll be on shortly.
Oh, nice. Outstanding.
So, and once he gets on, we'll dive into our topic, and we'll get what you've got to say real quick about the topic, and then let you go do your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because you said you're only good until about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I got to split out of here after a minute.
And actually, we'll go ahead and get into the topic, and we'll bring Reese up to speed once he hops on. So the topic tonight is, what's your favorite part of the hobby? So we'll go with you. We'll start with you, McMurray. What gets you going about wargaming?
See, that's the fun part, right? Because there's like 80 different things in there that all kind of contribute, right?
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I think most of us are here to play the game. It's what part of that journey do we, choose to spend that extra time on? Where do we chunk out our enthusiasm?
What do we enjoy most?
Yeah, like, I mean, ultimately, we're here because there's games, that exist. Otherwise, we're model builders or whatnot, which isn't a bad thing at all. Don't get me wrong. But as war gamers, we have a rather particular, niche and area that we're going to as, okay, this is why we're here. This is what we're doing. Like, how are we going to do this? So, I mean, playing the games is probably one of my favorite parts. That said, the hobby itself is a massively, like the modeling side of it is a massive draw to me, right? I mean, I've always enjoyed models, stuff like that, small stuff. Working in miniature has always been one of my hobbies and enjoyments in life.
Hold on one second, McMurray.
Yep.
I'm going to add somebody here.
Yeah.
Jeffy.
What's up, gents?
Holy shit. What's up, buddy? That's what I'm talking about. Outstanding.
I got it open on too many things.
Jeffy's got us in long-term delay stereo. Hot damn.
Hot diggity daffodils.
I really wish YouTube wouldn't kill us for playing The Boys Are Back in Town right now, but that's okay. Needless to say, this would be an appropriate time to put on our black suits, black hats, and sunglasses and say, we're on a mission from God. We're putting the band back together.
I just need cigarettes.
Yep. Yeah. We gotta have to get gas, pack cigarettes. It's dark and we're wearing glasses. Punch you.
So I wanted to, told the guys there I apologized a minute ago. I've been looking at people's channels. I just haven't been commenting. I've been throwing my thumbs up on them. And golf is that was part. I played a lot of golf over the last 5 or 6, 7 days. But as McMurray and myself and Todd were talking last night, I'm just in a gamer's funk. So I don't really want to do or play anything, but I did manage to set up that monster that's in my screen right now.
We talked about it over in a funk. And then Jeff's like, I'm going to set up this huge friggin' game, guys. Okay. All right. So look at that.
Got a video in 2 weeks.
Needless to say, the Jeffrey is kicking it into gear.
What did you set up there, Hexy?
That's Barbarossa's from GMT, the East Front Series Army Group Center.
Okay.
It is a true monster.
Outstanding.
Like that's pretty wild, Jeff. I'm excited to see you play that too. And it seems like you're getting into it. You're jumping all around doing.
Well, this is my favorite system, so.
It is, and there's nothing wrong with saying that it's your favorite, theater. Like it's you're wrong, but there's nothing wrong with saying it, Right. He's not wrong in that it is his favorite theater.
He's wrong that it is his favorite theater.
No. I mean, Jeffy's favorite isn't wrong. It's just not my favorite theater. That's all. I give him trouble for it. That's all.
You're right. I'm definitely, and it kind of goes good with Todd because he loves West Front. So.
Accurate. He does. He is a big West Front guy. He's a big Battle for the Bulge Market Garden guy.
And
actually, I take that back. Not necessarily Bulge as much as Market Garden and Normandy.
Yeah. And then you've got you and me covering the Atlantic and the Pacific for the Navy.
Navy and anything European, I'm good for. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Jeffy, do you want to see my secret Civil War project? I wasn't going to show anybody this, but then you hopped on, and so I kind of.
Didn't I see it last night?
No, this is something else to go into that game to add to the big muddiness of it, I guess. Hang on, I'll show you guys in just a second. The issue is my camera arm is still outside in the garage where Todd and I were playing yesterday, so that the one, the only Hex to Hex could also observe as we were play testing. So I'm going to have to, it's going to be a short on-camera appearance for this particular monster, but I guess we'll see if Mr. Wiley or Willret are actually watching at this point.
Well, while you're dilly-dallying there and looking for something here.
You should do that, yeah. Don't dilly-dally.
Here's a general question for the audience. So since we're talking about favorite part of the hobby, let me go to the other side of the question there. And sort of what do you guys do when you get in a stink about not wanting to really do anything? How do you drag yourself out of it?
Slump busting. There is a topic. Well, first off, I look at Reese's behind. That always busts my slump. Hey, buddy, what's up? Can't hear us yet, can you? Whew, thank God. All right, good. He's an upstanding young man, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't want to make that awkward. But yeah, that's a good. Honestly, I hang out with you goofs.
Yeah.
And get all psyched up.
Standing or not, I'm about to eat a hot dog with a spoon. So.
Yeah, well, it's better than eating it like a traditional hot dog. You're on a stream with a bunch of dudes.
That's what I was thinking. I was also thinking I'm on the internet and just don't need that out there.
Yeah, man. That's like you got to have a knife to eat a banana or a hot dog, man. That's just the easiest way to do it, All right, but so here is my my ACW edition project. Hang on. I got to get the right camera up here.
Let me embiggen you here. There you go.
Oh,
It's Timmy the Tiny Catfish,
I love it.
who will be eating ACW figures that are that tall. So, tiny is.
So you're telling me he's been that big even before they put in the hydroelectric dams?
Yeah. There's been a fair amount to eat after, some of the riverboat, the ironclad river clashes and stuff. But I'm still painting. We're going to get the belly a little whiter, get the top a little greener. We're going to light up these little spines, and he's got some veiny things on the side here. And then whatever the hell these things are, I don't know. Those aren't natural. But then we're going to do the eyes. We're going to take a page from Jaws, and they're going to be dead black eyes, whatever. We'll probably paint the mouth up in a weird white because they're gross looking on the inside.
Hey, McMurray, can I tell you a little secret?
What?
Hobby Lobby has clear glow-in-the-dark paint right now.
All right, shut up, man. Is that what's splattered all over the walls? Is that what?
Something like that.
Somebody sneak in here and spray that shit on my walls? I don't get it.
I'm just saying, if you want to make the whiskers and the eyes glow.
It only glows in the dark. You can unbiggen me, Chris. I'm gonna go back to painting real quick, so I don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I wonder if that's what's going on. Because yeah, I've noticed that when I turn a black light on, it glows a little bit, and that's been weirding me out. I don't know what it is. I guess somebody's been spraying that in here. Anyhow,
we won't dive too deep into that.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to unpack there that we don't really need to get into. Jeffy, it's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you too, Reese.
Scout Grillman says, when I hit a slump in gaming, I just change game, genre, medium, sometimes a few weeks of video games recharges my tabletop gaming battery.
Yep, that's what
there you go.
That's what Jeff and I have talked about a whole bunch of times regarding jumping back with brushing my mouth. Jumping between board games and miniatures games. Right? At least for me. I know Jeff doesn't necessarily jump back and forth, but we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of that is a really good way for me to enjoy doing both, especially since the amount of actual gaming with miniatures that I get to do nowadays has been a little more restricted in terms of during COVID and post COVID. The I don't care what people say, the in-person gaming community lost a lot of steam during COVID, which makes sense because for the most part you had a solid 2 years of, well, we can't play. What the hell are we going to do?
Right.
And so, in that time, people get, they find other things to do, right? Like you had something that you did. For example, my gaming group met every Tuesday for over a decade, right? COVID happens. We can't do that. We don't do that. And so people, had to find other stuff to do, right? Because, that makes sense. People have kids, people have wives, lives, what have you. And so obviously then when you have just an empty night for 3 years, because I don't know about you guys, but the game stores around here stayed closed kind of an absurd amount of time. Whole fucking world was open, and yet, our local game stores were still paralyzed. But, so it wouldn't at all surprise me if it takes another few years for that to pop back from those couple years of dead time. But
right.
Hopefully it does. I feel like it will. Almost inevitably, but it's
it always will, yeah.
Still sucks while it's going on,
Just think about how many more painted miniatures we're going to have to play with when we come back.
I have just an ass ton of painted miniatures, man. The issue is all through COVID, I just kept accumulating unpainted miniatures. So, whatever.
Also same.
But that said, that's what I'm kind of getting at, though, is without the ability to play with those miniatures all the time, the tabletop board war games have really done a number for me in terms of being able to look at things and go, okay, I need to play. I can't, make my, and part of it's me. My evenings are incredibly limited. So, there's only so much I can do. I can't, it's not any night of the week. Well, what night do you have free? Well, I have this one night free, which makes it tough. But it means that I can solo play a game without too much trouble, which is massively helpful, right? Just tremendously so.
God, I just literally forgot I was in this chat for about the last 5 minutes.
Why?
I am not kidding. My brain is so distracted with nothingness that it's terrible.
Hexy, how you been?
Freaking sciatic pain is killing me. Good. Well, I mean, other than the slump, Reese, it's good. I mean, it's, I think what I just got to do is I don't know if I'll do it tonight, maybe tomorrow. I just need to shoot. I think I just need to shoot a video, and that'll get me kick-started again.
I mean, positive reinforcement is a good way of doing that, and your videos are usually pretty well received.
I mean, dude, it's been 2 weeks of on my desktop here. This is the third time I've started this scenario in Band of Brothers, and I've now not touched it in a week and a half.
I feel bad because I set up Stonewall's sword, and every time I go to play it, I look at it and I go, well, not today.
So, Nangoy, are you still on here? Because I think so. I've been watching all of Chris's Dervelt Creek stuff, and even though he sounds far more intelligent when he's talking than I do, we both have the same approach. And I think he and I are going to have to do something together somehow, some way. Even though I know he's a yupper somewhere up there above the Mason-Dixon line.
Playing on the wall?
Of North America.
Jeff,
Mikey, you're right. Got to take a break every now and then. I hate to leave stuff out there that I'm actually doing and not putting something up. And of course, not checking in with what you guys are doing. I've been really bad about that the last 2 weeks.
Well, the unfortunate reality is sometimes there's not a lot to check in on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for my YouTube channel.
And, well, no, it's not even that. It's just checking in saying, hey, what's up? Sometimes there's just not a lot there, And that's not anyone's particular fault. It's just, sometimes you're not doing as much. And unfortunately, when the guys in your gaming group or the guys you talk to or hang out with on a frequent basis kind of all hit that same slump at once, it can certainly appear that, well, shit, this hobby's deadish, all of it out. But it's not. It's all good. We're still here. But I know that that's been a problem for at least, Jeff, you, Todd, and I think for the.
Yeah, we haven't done shit together until last night in a while.
Well, I mean, for the last month or so, though. I mean, I haven't really played a game. I don't know that Todd's really played a game. I don't know. I mean, I know you've been working on stuff, but I don't know.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've been sitting here looking at my bookshelves thinking, you know what? Maybe it's time to let go of a lot of these games that I am just never going to look at.
Well,
and keep the ones that I know I enjoy, like, East Front will never leave, and I'll get those. My Civil War stuff will never leave, especially my Great Battles in there. So that'll never go away. My OCS, that'll never go away.
Except for you said you're going to quit playing GBACW to play more Blind Sword, right? So
I won't let go of those either.
That's completely understandable. You should.
I told you all the other night. And this is nothing personal to anybody out there. It's just where my brain was. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to play my games for me and have fun.
Amen.
And, I know there's a few people out there that do look to my stuff to get them to play or to help them play. And I keep telling myself, why don't I just start doing instructionals? And I really like the idea, but then I thought to myself, then I'm going to go back to where I'm not playing my games for me.
Yeah.
And this thing sitting here now, this monster son of a bitch, I'm going to play this for me. I'm going to shoot videos, but goddamn it, I'm going to push this thing as far as I can push it.
I'm about to say maybe take the video to a back seat where it's just okay, here's what happened this turn. All right, see you guys later. I'm gonna get back to playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily doing the super in-depth videos, which you are really good at, but at the same time, you can be really good at them, but they're not you enjoying playing the game. So just say, all right, hang on a minute. Nothing wrong
Well,
with
and
that.
I also, one of the things I like is I love to run my mouth about what it is I'm doing, what my strategy or tactic is, what my objective is, and then getting the feedback in comments of, oh no, that's stupid, Hexy, try this, or maybe here's another option. I love that stuff. And then when that one person throws in that little history tidbit that I didn't know anything about that has to do with exactly what I'm playing, that's freaking awesome.
Yep. Agreed, buddy. That's the fun part. I also enjoy, and I realize this happens a lot more to you than it does to me, but it's always ridiculously inspiring and fun and whatnot for me when people, like, that's part of why I keep playing Blind Swords, right? Because you actually get, when somebody like Herman Lutman or Jay Wiley or whatnot comments on your video and says, hey, this is awesome, thank you, keep doing this. That's cool, man. I enjoy that.
And those games, that Blind Source, those games move when you're playing.
They do. They're super fun, man.
Yeah.
They're super fun. That's how they keep me going. They keep me in there is because they're fun. They're not crazy fast paced. You have to do some planning, or else you run into with what I ran into with Thunder in the Ozarks, where you can't get anything done if you're just constantly going, which is a little different than my usual. But
now, go ahead, Chris. That's I actually taught a class all day actually to multiple high school students how to read a military map and the major terrain features. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been messing around with a lot of it. I made a list of all my. I went through all the scenarios and all of my Panzer campaigns games from the John Tiller War Game Design Group, and I took all the historical scenarios and made a spreadsheet. I haven't got through all the games yet, but most of them, and I just started playing them sequentially. I in the last 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably played 10 scenarios and marked the outcome in my spreadsheet and what side I played and what the victory points were. So I've done that, but I mean, you could sometimes in computer games you can just blow through those things and without even applying any strategy or tactic to the game. Using the units for what their ability is, just sort of pushing them forward and attacking, whether it was proper or not. So sometimes I don't get as much out of those. But whereas these things here, I can start with that process and then I get stumped and I'm like, okay, no, I need to change that approach up. Computer games don't do that as well for me, even though I fucking have so many of them.
You're still Hexy, the tactical genius though.
I'm playing, so. Yep, Mike, I'm with you. It just seems like we never get anything that, we want. It's always nice to finish a game.
Hell yes.
It's hard though when you prefer to play the monster games that have 140 turns.
Well, yeah, that's all you, Jeffy. It is cool finishing games though. Like that's 100% correct. I mean that goes a huge way, right? Like, which is also part of why I don't necessarily play too many giant monster games, because I really like finishing games and having them, to the end. And I can't stand it when I have to take a game off the table that I didn't finish, right?
Right.
You know that.
Hey, Gary, before you got to go,
yeah,
I got my shipment of Weird War 1946 aircraft.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I found my German O cruisers and stuff. Again, not that they're particularly applicable, but
I've got everything from the ME-109 Ju-88 piggyback missile.
Nice. Jesus
to the however you pronounce this in German, with like the ramjets on the wings and it spins and thing.
Yeah.
To the quote unquote Nazi flying saucers.
Nazi flying saucers.
Yeah, dude.
To the Dornier with the pusher prop on it as well as the puller or the tractor. I don't remember what they called that. To the Horton Flying Wing Fighter.
There it is.
Yeah, I know. And to the big, strap a bunch of jets to the back of one of those things, make a bomber out of it.
Doug, we need a 1/600 great big German guy.
Yeah, it's the size of half a grain of rice.
Well, whatever. It can still be chopped up in that thing.
But yeah, hopefully these will be painted up in time for a one-off scenario for March to Victory.
Hell, of course they will. You can paint those 1/600 aircraft like it's nobody's business.
Oh yeah, and these are all 3D printed, so the paint actually sticks to them.
They paint crazy quick. Do you not prime stuff? We've been over.
No, he doesn't.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. I primed them with black craft paint.
Okay.
So
that answer is no for you viewers out there.
Yep.
What is
Thank
that?
you, Charles. Dornier 335.
What is that, Chris?
F-16.
And,
So it's
He's doing Jeffy miniatures, man.
it's white gray, and then I'm using for the body, and the cockpit is contrast Talisar blue.
You gonna paint Maverick on the side of it or Iceman?
No, those would be F-14s,
Tomcats.
and I need to get me some of them because F-14s are tits.
I'm loving that.
I love
kit.
F-14s. What's
There
that?
we go, guys. So
Loving
we got
that fish.
one model for the turn that it comes up. Basically, the way this works is if it gets shot, because the British have 2 boats that are landing. One of them has a spar torpedo on it. The other one has a Gatling gun on it, and that's the Gatling gun that they'll then dismount. But if it gets shot, it comes out. It's on the table like this. If it gets shot, that's removed. That counter's put in its place, diving, getting out of there. Or if the Confederacy managed to ram it with the spar torpedo before it moves, then it just
Goes
becomes, chum. Here's the size. Oh, here's the original model.
Is it 3D printed?
No, it's actually a Reaper figure called Gulper. Again, next to the 15 millimeter miniatures that it will be inevitably eating.
What'd you cut it in half with? A bandsaw?
Miter saw it. Yeah, I had to.
Gotcha.
I tried doing it with a hobby saw, and it was a disaster. Mainly because you hit that cavity, and it was. Just
Yeah, I was about to say that's something.
I tried doing it with this thing, and after about an excessive amount of time, in the matter of a few hours, I said this and went out to my garage and then hit it on a belt sander to relatively even it out. You can see where it's not entirely even up there, but yeah.
Hey, just
That's
put
good enough.
them in the water. Nobody will know.
Well, that's the point, right? It's just going to be coming out of the water or going back into the water. Done. Right. And then this is for, I don't know what. I think it might be for that eating the Sailors game, except for that I'm going to have to fill this in somehow. But yeah,
I love it.
for that upside down bolt holes are on the table. I need to find my 28 millimeter under and over halves. They're somewhere around here.
Honestly, just a little bit of putty smoothed out, and that would look fine because the catfish's bill
yeah.
is relatively smooth.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I got you.
Not that you don't know that already.
But yeah, no, that'll be cool. That'll be a cool, weird addition to it also, as opposed to just being sharks. But yeah, so there's the original model. I think it's called Gulper. It's like $7 or something. So then I cut it in half, and
Oh my God,
I've got-
Then it's $350 a piece there.
yeah,
I need to look into that because that'd look pretty cool with my 54s.
yeah. I mean, hell, at 54, it could be like in scale almost Mekong catfish.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's
And,
Yeah.
God damn, can you imagine playing a Vietnam game and you're in a rice paddy and that thing just pops out? Like just
I've got a PBR and
chunk.
2 SEAL support craft. Let's do it.
just what the shit.
Send the guy from Arkansas down to noodle for it.
Yeah, there you go. But
I did that. Was that 2 weekends ago?
You went noodling?
I mean, I got a rainbow trout noodling, but yeah,
I don't know if that's usually how you catch rainbow trout.
it
or
was
what
it
you
was
call
it was
noodle.
a it was a stocked pond. and I was just somebody said I couldn't do it,
Well,
so I
proved
did it.
that wrong. Yeah.
Skeller Gremlin says eating hot dogs on the internet and talking about the smoothness of catfish mouths. Reese is on a roll tonight.
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all, watch this.
He's about to unveil his members only page.
Yeah. To answer
Hey-o.
the only ones I did had plastic rigging with them. But yeah, that was the same fishing trip. I caught a water moccasin on my fishing line, so I got out of the water. After
Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's like boink.
No, that's
See ya.
putting him on the concrete, stepping behind his head, taking your knife out, and just going.
Well, you just stomp on its head. That's always worked pretty well for me with water moccasins and copperheads.
For me, I like a little distance, so I get my step grandmother's son has a firearms company in Texas, and he makes a Derringer that you can put in a 410 shell or a 45 caliber
45 long colt.
ACP into it. Long colt. And he designed it specifically for desnaking locations.
Yeah.
Um,
That or, honest to God, usually with copperheads, it's a weed eater that they fall to. But yeah.
Yeah.
Skylar, noodling trout. Some people pay extra.
Oh Jesus!
As I said,
those big mouth bass. They just
somebody said it couldn't be done. So
Yikes. That's just wrong.
Oh yeah.
So back to the actual topic.
Besides me making a fool of myself on the internet.
No, shit. I do that every
over here eating
Wednesday
hot dogs
night.
without chewing and shit.
Man, I was doing it with a spoon. You got to do it right.
Ugh. Anyway, Reese, what's your favorite part of the hobby? What gets you motivated to be doing what we do?
See, it used to be narrative campaigns. It was 100% all the time narrative campaigns.
Okay.
But
Based on what? Individual mini or a group?
I did everything from World War I in the Middle East to Boer War to World War II to French and Indian War. I've done it all historically. But lately, since I've gotten better at painting, frankly, I love painting. I just don't get around to it as much as I should. But then I realized it was less painting and more collecting. So yeah, probably that. Just like me building.
Well, give me one of your narratives. What was one of your narratives from one of your older plays? I mean, what was the premise and how did it end?
I took a call it a squad because it was smaller than a platoon of recon soldiers from the shores of Sicily into the Anzio landings.
Oh, okay.
And they got the snot beat out of them in Anzio,
Huh.
which was funny because I built, you kind of, I don't know, it's weird. You get attached to the characters.
Sure.
And took them through Sicily. They did decently in Sicily. And as I said, they just got the snot beat out of them in Anzio. There was a couple harder battles that they should have lost that they did really well in. And then they got sent out on a raid that was supposed to be a piece of cake. And they got stuck in a trench. And then a sniper shot the lieutenant that was with them and killed him. And I can't remember if the tank got him or the artillery got him, but it was not a glorious death. It was ugly. But yeah, that was one I've done. So that was fun. But I did a cavalry group in the Boer War, and I think actually their horses died because they ran out of fodder or something, and then I just kind of quit then because whatever. So, Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. Hoping to do a Vietnam one. I'm getting that one set up pretty soon.
I
So
don't know if I've ever done anything. Well, I mean, I probably have, and just don't realize it. That was narrative based, but I'm sure if I did, I never finished any of it I was doing. So
yeah, for me, of course, I play large scale figures, and
right,
so I can't put an entire corps on the board. I can hardly put a platoon on the board, and so for me
No,
to do,
not with that. Not with that attitude.
I run out of table space is the issue. When I had the entire storage room floor to my disposal in Kansas, I could put a platoon on there, no problem. But I don't have the space for it right now. So narrative campaigns is where it's at. So I was using various rule books to get my random encounters, various rule books to get my missions, various rule books to get my opposing forces, and I just run through them solo. So
it's always interesting how everybody I know that is gaming all have different approaches to the things they do. It's unique,
Yeah.
and every one of us has got that.
yeah, I just need to do more of it instead of more buying. I need to buy less, paint more. So
Yeah, my buying's kind of stopped too now. I'm probably going to drop a couple of my pre-orders, and I think the only one I'm going to keep for sure is going to be the new 3 Days of Gettysburg.
Well,
I passed on the freaking newest BCS game. I did buy Goose Green TCS. I don't know why I bought it.
Did you say you passed on Valley of Tears?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that, and I'm passing on OCS Crimea, which is that's got to be stupid because you know how much I like Manstein.
That's fair. I mean, I saw a lot of people debating the Valley of Tears thing. I don't know. Jeffy, to be honest with you, if you ever want to play like Heights of Courage or Yom Kippur,
Yeah, and I got both of them.
well, that's my point, is that if that's the conflict you're looking for, unless you're just craving some battalion combat system, like, you know what I mean? If you're thinking, man, that would be kind of cool, stuff's going on, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe it'd be cool that there's games out there that are fun that I thought you had, yeah. That you could get that same sort of fix for. It's not going to be the same game.
So many systems I like, and I still to this day, if I had to get rid of everything I've got and only keep one system, it's still going to be Great Battles of the American Civil War.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I feel like not letting you keep a system per period is a little harsh, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, OCS and EFS, I put them pretty much side by side, with EFS having the nudge ahead.
In terms of complexity or in terms of being your favorite? In terms of being your favorite?
Yeah, which one I enjoy better.
Oh, okay.
There's just something about I got a feeling that with the EFS here, it's got a lot to do with just the way the maps look. I love these kind of maps where woods look like woods.
That's fair. Does it bother you that the game selection is more limited in EFS than it would be with OCS?
Yeah, in a way it does, but if you have, which I do, if you have all of the EFS games, the map is there for you to play anything and everything that happened on the East Front. So it would be more of a question of somebody creating more scenarios. But I think the difference between this and OCS is you're not going to – I don't know if you can scale this down to smaller environments like you can with OCS.
Well, my point was also that, if you want to play Sicily, you can do that with OCS.
Right.
If you want to play Bulge, you can do that with OCS. If you want to play, stuff in Normandy, you can do that with OCS. You cannot necessarily do that with EFS.
Right. You're not going to do that.
Not that mechanically it wouldn't work. It's just that those games aren't produced.
Right.
But yeah, that's what would. I mean, also it's the simplified combat system, and I'm a simple individual. But that's one of the reasons I like SCS is because if I want to play East Front, there's more than enough East Front games there to play. But then also, if I want to play D-Day, there's a colossal game for me to play. If I want to play Market Garden, there's a colossal game. If I want to play Bulge, there's a couple of games. There's nothing, particularly early war other than Fallschirmjäger. But still,
You haven't played that yet, have you?
what's up?
You have not played that yet, have you?
I have not played that. I told myself I was going to save that for a special occasion. And I don't know, that special occasion hasn't hit me yet. But I didn't want to just pull it out and start playing it, right? Because, again, it's a special game. But I also didn't want to set what that special occasion is. Because then if I get to that and I'm in the middle of something or, I just played another SCS game, then I don't.
Back to the original topic question, Reese, you said what it used to be narrative, but where are you at now? What's your favorite part of the hobby now?
As I said, I think it's painting and collecting. I
Yeah.
really do. I still love playing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sitting here and I'm almost got a full platoon of for U.S. Army Vietnam First Cav
Yeah.
and 54. I've got a slew of 1/600 aircraft, and I don't know if you heard this or not. I picked up a bunch of 1/2400 naval the other day. So
You need to get me the list of the ships you got.
the problem is a lot of the ships I have, I think, were just concepts for the config.
What did you get? The 1946 stuff?
No, I got Civil War 1/2400.
Oh, dude, So one thing that I would advise, especially in order to then make good stat sheets for Ocean Thunder, is either grab, like I said, By River and By Sea by David Manley, because basically anything. The issue with ACW Naval is that there's so many one-offs
Yeah, most of these are one-offs.
that even looking on Wikipedia, you're sitting there going, where the hell is this thing? Like, what did this thing actually exist or not?
Yeah. So I got 2 stern wheel paddle steamers, which I don't think they're armed. They're just the regular steamboats.
Okay.
I got a USS Roanoke
Okay.
and Keokuk,
Okay.
3 USS Monitors,
Okay.
USS Monadnock.
Motornock. Yeah.
Yep, got 2 of those.
Okay.
Got 3 USS Kairos.
Okay. That's okay. That's a city class gunboat.
Yeah.
He's made dozens of those things.
Well, and I'm going to use these for my own little project anyway. They may not actually come up with, I mean, I'm still going to use the stats for them, but anyway.
Yes.
USS Dictator in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
USS General Price.
Okay. That's
which
wait, USS or CSS General Price?
both. It's the same ship.
It is. Okay.
And I got
It's
2 of them.
armed differently, sir.
What did you
but
say? It's what? It's armed differently?
Armed differently, sir, but okay. Look at this guy, Jeff.
Ship of Theseus. CSS Virginia in Texas. I got 1 of each of those. CSS Nashville.
Okay.
And CSS Missouri. They're side wheels, but they're armored.
Yep.
Are
they timber or cottonclads?
I believe they're timber. I'm not sure. No. I think they're steel.
Well, iron.
Or whatever.
Yes. Okay.
And then a couple of paddle corvettes and a couple of screw corvettes.
Okay.
And
that's pretty awesome.
That's all I got now. I'm going to expand it, but that's
what I was about to say. You're going to wind up grabbing a couple Unadillas or 90-day gunboats or something, little fun guys.
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait till probably after Christmas on that one. And then my latest tumbling dice order, which has not come in yet, is Vampire jet fighters, twin Mustangs with radar,
yep.
F2H Banshees,
right.
F3D Sky Knights, some FW190s, Some HE 162 salamanders. It's the one with the jet engine strapped to the back and the twin, like kind of the fork tail.
Yep.
I needed some SBDs for my Cactus Air Force campaign.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Some more sabers because I have a crazy idea, which y'all may have seen on Discord. I'm gonna cut them up and make FJ1 Furies out of them. Dassault MD450s. I can't speak French, however they actually call that. The Fuga CM170 Magister. They used them in the Congo.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of IL-28 Beagles. Some B-57s or Canberras, however you want to call them. Got both the British version and the American version. British Seahawks, the Percival Provost jets, some BF-109s. ME-410s. Oh, here we go. I forgot. HMS Colossus, 1886.
Nice. Okay.
A couple of cotton clads.
Why on earth Colossus? That's drastically different.
Well, because I'm trying to build up my Navy for my 1898 World War One as well.
Fuck yes.
It's going to take me a couple years to do it, but I'm going to do it. HMS Benbow.
Uh-huh. Okay.
HMS Collingwood.
Nice.
Another screw corvette, another paddle corvette, just because I love the models. And I got half of mine to do like a CSS Shenandoah alternate history thing. HMS Inflexible, HMX Alexandra, HMS Shaw.
Which one?
The Alexandra is the 1877.
No, the Shah. Is that the one that fought Waskar and whatnot? Yeah. Okay.
Large frigate.
Yeah. Did you get Amethyst also?
I did not.
I can print you an Amethyst.
Okay. HMS Scorpion. And I got some lifeboats and stuff because I got an idea. And then I got Seafires with rockets, Seafires without rockets, the naval Spitfire.
Mm-hmm.
Sea Venoms, some Hornets, some more F-80s, some F-94 Starfighters, which are just T-33s with some better avionics. F-84s, because I have a crazy idea, as I said. Some more Mosquitoes. And yeah, that's all coming in. So Mike, I don't know much about naval stuff either, but McMurray tickled my fancy with some ideas for my pet alternate history project the other night. So I'm slowly going to build them up.
Man, again, so Longface just put out there a lesson from the Kaiser.
They put out what now?
He's answering a phone call.
Oh, that's okay. I think we lost him.
That's yeah. Oh. So everybody else has talked about what they like most. For me, it's doing the research and the planning, the writing of scenarios, like figuring out how to paint these little guys, the best way to paint, how to make them look something. Hey, take care, Jeffy. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Take care of yourself. Don't be a stranger. I like doing the research. I paint because I have to. Now I have gotten better. I shouldn't say I've gotten better. I've become less adverse to painting. Like I said, I started painting these guys up. I need to do a little more to the top of them than just the silver. or the gray. Got to figure out exactly what color to paint the bottom there. But I definitely like the 1/600 scale aircraft. Don't get me wrong, I love the 1/300 scale aircraft also, because I got quite a few of them. But I think anything I do in the future from, say, really anything from 1940 on, I'm going to do in 3mm, 1/600th.
Yeah, it's the way to go.
Whether it's aircraft or armor, I'm gonna do it in pico scale. As far as, go ahead.
With aircraft, you paint up a squadron, you put them in one of these little baggies, you put it in a plastic box, and you have a box full of stuff. That's all organized.
Yeah. Where is that? Do I have that handy?
I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're fine.
I'm getting bad at that.
You're no worse than the rest of us, so don't worry. So I've got I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere, but I've got a box that holds like a dozen of these.
Yeah, you're talking about one of these.
Exactly. Yes.
I've got
exactly.
That's why I store my 1/600.
And
yep,
this is a piece of sheet steel, and these have magnets on them. So, boom, Bob's your uncle, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So I've got a couple of MiG-21s. I don't now, to give people an idea of the difference in scale. This is 6mm 1/300th.
Right.
That's the same airplane.
That's a Pico M21 or MiG-21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So these look good. I like these even more.
Those going across the board look fast.
Yeah.
That's my thing with those is they are fast.
Because you don't cut the distance.
Mm-mm.
You know, if it says that it's supposed to fly, oh crud, it broke. If it's meant to move at 6 inches, then keep it moving 6 inches. And something that is only an inch long moving 6 inches looks a lot better than something that is 2 inches long that is supposed to move 6 inches. Telemachus, you can buy these individually or in that box set at Hobby Lobby. And the box set, I think, is 12. It comes with the boxes, 12 or 14 of them, plus the big case that holds them all for I think they retail for $30, but you can always get a 40% discount coupon. So it's like what? It's like, actually, I think it's $24.99 with a 40% discount. It was like $15. Or something stupid like that.
I'm gonna make you jealous. I found those at a thrift store for $1 a piece.
There you go. Even better, man. Better. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be. That's what I'm gonna put the entirety of my 49th Armored Division in.
Mm-hmm.
In 3mm. Once I get it figured out why it's not printing right.
Now,
figuring out how to paint up these things and doing the research I've been doing on the 49th Armored Division, just diving in and getting into the guts of things, which in turn causes me to want to write rules and write scenarios.
Now, you said you love writing scenarios. What's your favorite scenario you've written or helped write?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Obviously, I'm pretty proud of this one.
Yeah,
You know
that's a good one.
that you know, there I am. So, you know, not only am I listed as a playtester, I got a byline, but I've got a couple other scenarios that I've written for Force on Force that I've just used personally. I've written a couple of scenarios for Check Your Six Jet Age. So that, you know, those are pretty good. And then Galactic Heroes, I've got one. The one that I like most for Fistful of Lead, Galactic Heroes is my Battle of Endor.
That one is a lot of fun. I played it a couple times now.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's, you know, and of course I've been working on Ocean Thunder for the last forever, and people seem to really like playing it.
It's a ton of fun.
So you know, and that's the scale that I'm going to be. You know, the scale I'm going with that is 1/6000.
Right.
So you know, this is the Tennessee battleship, and it is a whole inch and a quarter long. You know, in 1/2400 scale, it's like almost 3 inches long.
Yeah.
So you know, it again, and to me, it looks so much better on the table, scale wise. It's not flashy by any means. I know people love, you know, something like this on the table, but it just, think about this: 2 ships this scale, you know, that far apart, doesn't look as good as these 2 ships that far apart.
Yeah.
This looks more realistic. So, you know, these are nice to paint. I don't know if I ever showed y'all the deck work I did on that.
Now, which one is that?
This is Ziokaku.
Okay. I'm not good with Japanese carriers. I could tell it was Japanese, but I couldn't tell which one.
Yeah, this is a Ziokaku, and this is how her deck was painted at Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And what I did is Donna has got a cricket cutter.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this designed and got a piece of transparent paper, or not paper, but plastic, and cut it out, taped it down, and stenciled it. I made a stencil for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So is it perfect? No, but you know what? I couldn't have freehanded it.
Are you going to do decals on your 1/600 aircraft?
Yeah.
Miscellaneous minis gets expensive real quick for me. Not because the individual decal sheets are expensive, but because I'm sitting there going, oh, I like that one, and I like that one, and I like that one. So
Let's see. Atomicus says never went to Hobby Lobby. We only recently got a Hobby Lobby. I'll go there. Yeah, but you can't go on Sunday. They're closed. I mean, Mike, for stuff I will use for RPGs, I'll stick with 28mm. For historical, I've settled on 20mm. 50mm is too small for my fat fingers and aging eyes. He says, I order those cases within the cases from Michael's when they're on sale. There you go. What's the title of that book? Oh, yeah. He found it. Chris is legit on Board Game Geek as a designer.
Nice.
I've honestly never looked myself up. Rocky's War Room is in the house. Hey, buddy. Says, I love the smaller scale too, man. You did great on those Victory at Sea miniatures. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. So, yeah. That for me, this isn't a gaming piece. It's something. If I had the room to, and it's not even finished painted. I have not finished painted. How is that finished painted? Oh well. If I had the room to have, I've got some friends down in Texas, and when they built their house, they built a game room with cabinets and lighted shelves. So all of their painted armies are on the lighted shelves behind glass. And
so they don't get dusty.
With the display, in a display case. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's taken me a while, but I'm slowly, like I'm painting up these guys. Are they going to be well painted? No. Will they be painted good enough for me? Sure. But like I said, I'm not, I don't want to say I don't like painting. It's just, to me, it's a chore to paint. I paint because I have to. It's like doing the laundry. I have to do the laundry. I don't like doing the laundry. I know people who love doing laundry. My daughter, Sarah, loves doing laundry. She doesn't like folding. She hates folding. But she loves doing the laundry.
That's weird.
That's not me. I look at it as the same. I look at doing laundry the same as I do looking at painting miniatures. It's something I have to do because I don't want to play games with unpainted miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I make it doubly hard on myself because when I get into a game, I do both sides.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when I say, "Hey guys, you want to play whatever?" and they say, "Well, I don't have," don't worry about it. I got everything you need. So I've got for my Korean Air War and Vietnam Air War, I've got both American and North Korean. I've got both American and North Vietnamese. Mm-hmm. For all my Ocean Fender stuff, all my World War II. I've got Americans, Japanese, Germans, British, Italian. Even my Cold War, I've got American and Czech.
And that's kind of how I got stuck with where I'm at now, is because in high school and early part of college, I played unpainted figures. That's basically all I played. I painted a few, but I didn't paint much. And then when I started getting into World War II and things like that, I started painting all my figures. And my roommate had a suggestion. He said, just pick an army, pick a period, paint through, and just paint all of it and just get it done. And then when you're playing with that, do another era. And I started painting World War II, and I kept buying World War II, and I kept painting World War II, and I kept buying World War II. And I'm like, hey, playing with painted figures is fun. I don't want to play with all my unpainted stuff anymore, and I'm too busy painting World War II to drag out all my colonial stuff. So
Right.
that's why I got stuck in 1940 and later. Now, what all do you have for Mig Alley? I know you got F-84s. Do you have the Sabres?
Yeah, I've got F-86s. I've got where are you?
Because I know you and I had talked about after I finished Cactus Air Force setting up some stats for Mig Alley as well.
Yeah.
And that's still right there on my mind. Matter of fact, I got some B-29s for bomber escort missions coming, and I've got are they B-36 Dominators? I think that we used as our B-36s for recon missions. We didn't drop bombs on them, but we put one or two in there as recon bird.
No, the B-36 was the big 6-prop 4-jet Peacemaker.
Yeah, 4 burning, 6 turning.
Yeah.
We put a couple of those over Korea as recon aircraft. And so
again, all of my fighters I currently have are in the 1/300 scale.
Right.
Completed and ready to play. I got F-86s.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
Now these are decals.
No, they're still gorgeous.
And I've got, and I can never remember if it's the Cougar or the Panther with the sweep wings.
That is the Cougar.
Yeah, I got a slew of those, and then I've got 4 MiG-15s done up in Newark Air Force. So, actually, this is North Vietnam.
Yeah, Air
Force. And
but
this one is
North
Korean.
That that first one, was that a MiG-17 or a MiG-15? The rounded
these
wings.
These are 17s.
Honestly, though, in 1/600, I sub them both in and out.
Yeah.
They're
I also 3D printed this guy.
Oh, nice.
And then painted it up. I need to get decals for it. And then I also 3D printed this guy.
Nice. So that's going to be World War II era with that paint job then.
No, they were still the dark blue.
Oh, I thought you had a lighter blue underside.
Well, I did.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But
sorry, I've got
same as same.
I've got F4Us in just about every paint job you can imagine, and also a big old poster of them back here. I don't know if you can.
And then of course I've got Star Trek.
Nice. Never my thing, but I can appreciate it.
I even 3D printed some bridge abutments. That way I could do the recreate Battle of Toko Ri.
Mm-hmm. From the movie.
Yep.
That's a great movie.
So that's what I've got.
I'm thinking about figuring out how to do a hex-based river, so I can have the Yalu on the table.
Yeah.
And have the MiGs be able to pop back behind it, and the Sabres not be able to cross it unless in hot pursuit.
Yeah. Then I've got some Israeli F4s
Nice.
in their Desert Lizard, and some Dassault Breguet 2000s.
Okay. I'm not as familiar with the Continental aircraft.
Yeah. And then these are supposed to be Egyptian MiG-21s. I just don't have the decals on them yet.
Nice.
But yeah, they're gonna end up.
Now, is that like 6-day war, or is that?
No, this would be whatever happened in '73.
Arab Israeli, I think
Uh,
they call it. I don't know. I think 6-day was what, 67 maybe?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the Middle East like I should, especially with all the stuff going on.
48 Arab-Israeli War of 73. Oh, 73 is Yom Kippur.
Okay. Yep. So
Oh.
I am going to try to this winter get all my Colonial stuff back under my roof and evaluate what I have and what I need for my project. So,
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, that's like I said, that's what I like doing best. That's is figuring out what I need to do to
well,
get my project on the road.
and with that project, that is not a this year project. That's not a next year project. That is a slowly churning towards that project.
Yeah. Now, speaking of,
They look good.
this is my Yom Kippur. I've got one battalion of McGack 6s,
Mhm.
a battalion of M113s in infantry, and a battalion of Arab T55s, I think.
Now
I-
those aren't 3 mil. They're 6 mil, right?
Nope, these are 3 mil.
Those are 3 mil. Okay.
Yeah. Give you. So the McGack 6 is just an M60.
I keep having to talk myself out of doing a smaller scale. Nice.
This is 6 mil. This is 3 mil.
Yep.
So,
Just looking back at my patent sitting on the shelf.
yeah, which is probably
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
it's the size of my box.
Yeah, probably is. And I don't even remember if it's an M48 or if it's an M60. But there you are.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's
Is that 54 millimeter? Okay.
I'll grab a Moraine real quick. Let's see. Here's an M60 gunner that'll work.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, his head comes up. I'm gonna put the base and the tread on the same level.
Yeah.
That's easily
It's
10
crazy
feet.
how tall those things are.
Yeah,
That's what she said, Scalagremlin.
but I mean, even you put him, even his base on the deck, he's shooting that M60 just over the cupola.
Yeah. See,
So,
I don't know why we designed our tanks to be so damn tall, and the Soviets designed their tanks to be so damn short.
yeah, I don't know either.
Because an M60 is what, damn near 10 feet tall.
Yeah. Well, here's a crazy comparison for you, Chris. Oh, I don't know if you can still hear me or not.
Yeah.
Here's a Patton. Here's an H13,
Yeah.
and they're about the same size.
Yep.
So,
Well, see, this is what gets me is that I didn't realize how big the CSS Virginia is.
Yep, she's a clunker.
These are the same scale.
Yeah, she's a clunker.
Same scale. I did not realize that she was that damn big.
As I said, I'm having to continue to talk myself out of going to 20 mil for some stuff, but I have to do all new terrain, and I'm not going to do it
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, switching terrain does, or switching scale takes a bit.
Yeah, and as I said, if I would do anything, I'd probably go 20 mil.
Yeah.
If I was to do it over, I'd probably go 20 mil. Because there's just so much available. I mean, I'm struggling to find various things I need for the Boer War. Because I can't find mounted bores. I can't find a Maxim 1-pounder, which is, what the British called the pom-pom.
Yeah.
I can't find, well, I can find a pom-pom, but it's like $80. And I'm not paying that much. And it doesn't even look good. So,
Well, for that matter, if you find it in an STL, I'm sure there are people.
well, McMurray and I are about to cut a backroom deal in the spring over a 3D printer, for a resin printer, and I can come up with an FDM printer for terrain and stuff. So,
speaking of which, I'm looking at, because we know mine caught on fire.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm looking at picking up a Neptune 4.
Okay. Is that, let's see, is that after Saturn?
No, the Neptune 4 is Elegoo's FDM printer.
Okay. I knew it was the same line, but I didn't know what it was.
It's hey Chris Long, how you doing, eh? It's a smaller build plate area than what my old one was. The old one was a 12 by 12 by 12.
Mm-hmm.
This one is an 8.85 by 8.85 by 11.
Is that going to mess up your TNT 4 interior hallways?
No, because all of those are only 4.5 or 4 3/4.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And right now, I can get it for $250.
Do it if you can.
So I'm looking. I've been running the scoreboard for the football games at the school. I get paid for all that time.
Nice.
Minimum wage in Illinois is $14 an hour.
Good night.
So I'm going to have I'm gonna have almost. I'm gonna have almost 40 hours.
That'd be nice.
So,
I'm about to start making overtime at some point, so that'll be nice.
there you go.
Because when I go to the mill, I'm no longer labor.
So I'm probably going to use that money to buy my new printer. I want to get another resin printer. I want to upgrade the one I've got because I've got an original Mars, and I want something that's faster.
I did quite a bit of FDM printing in school, but I have not messed with resin printing at all, and I'm a little nervous. But
It's easy, and both Jay and I, personally, neither of us have been adversely affected by the resin itself. I know people that get, wearing full shield face masks and gloves up to their elbows and, full frontal smocks to make sure. I put on nitrile gloves and call it good.
you're talking to a guy who's run a 100-year-old jet torch with nothing but leather gloves, so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some people are sensitive to the resin if it gets on them. And if it cures when it's on you, it can hurt like a son of a bitch.
Yeah. But so can super glue and baking soda.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I have done. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm hoping to get that one. And its recommended speed is 250 millimeters per second.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go, balls out, it can do 500 millimeters per second. So that's 50 centimeters. That's what, damn near 2 feet of it was. That would be what, about 20 inches of filament every second.
You better have a good reel.
Pretty good stuff. I use Hatchbox. Either use Hatchbox, ordering it from off of Amazon, or if I can't get it here fast enough and I really am pressed, I can drive down to St. Louis to Micro Center and pick up a reel of their brand. So
yeah, as I said, it's something I need to look into. And the problem is I'm so out of the game because I haven't 3D printed something in 8 years, maybe.
Oh wow, you will be amazed. Like I said,
I've been out of the game a while.
That Corsair and
Mm-hmm.
that Vampire,
mm-hmm.
Those were printed on my Mars.
I believe you.
And the Mars 3 that I want to pick up, it's the Mars 3 4K. It's only $155 right now, and it's got an even better resolution than the original Mars, and is faster.
Now, do I need it's when I did FDM, I had to have a cleaning bath station. I had to have all this other stuff with it.
Not for FDM.
Really?
Nope. You do for resin.
Because what we did when we printed, we put it in a bath that dissolved all the supports.
Oh, you might do that, but I just rip them off.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, we were doing some pretty complex designs too.
So. Yeah, I'm not doing anything fancy. Like I said,
because we do multi-part prints where you'd print it and it'd be a solid block, and you dissolve the supports off of it and it'd have moving parts and everything else right assembled, basically.
Yeah, so this was 3D printed on my FDM printer.
Okay.
Now,
as far as
you,
STLs go, as I said, I'm way behind. Am I going to have to get into AutoCAD again and start drafting? Or, I mean, what's my now? Obviously, I know I can download an STL and scale it. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
But as far as making my own STLs, is there better software for that now?
There's all kinds of software out there.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it is, I mean, if you don't want to get too deep into the weeds, you can use the free stuff that's out there.
Okay. As I said, I'm very interested in getting into it, because once I get my 3D printing operation up and going, nothing's going to stop me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because let's say that I need a 37 millimeter pom pom. Well, let's say I can't find an STL for it. I'll take an MG08 and cut the action off of it. Take a Vickers water water jacket, scale it up a little bit, smooth it out. Find a carriage for a Gatling gun, pop it on there.
Yeah.
As long as I know how to do all that with whatever program I'm using, I should be good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, I go a little bit in the weeds with some of the stuff I like to do. And I've wanted a pom pom for a while. I built one out of Lego, and that was my 54 millimeter pom pom for years. It was of course it had the carriage. It had a Brick Arms M2H, which is a 50 caliber action, which Brick Arms makes very accurate. And then I took the Lego, I don't know what they are. They're the 1x1 cylinders, and I built the gun barrel out of it to have the accurate size gun barrel on it. It worked.
Hey.
I looked at the guy I was playing with and said, "Hey, that's a pom pom. These are the rules for it. This is the crew." He's like, "Whatever floats your goat, man." So.
Yep. So yeah, it's the. So like I said, I'm hoping. Like I said, I should have about what is 40 times 14? Shit, I don't math well.
That's why I have Excel.
That's if I've got 40 hours, it's $560. So I could actually probably swing both of them if I wanted to.
Well, I've got a little bit of a bonus coming at some point. I might see if I can swing some of that into 3D printing.
Yeah, and the nice thing is like the printer I have now, I still have its carcass here.
Now I can work on computers. As far as working on a 3D printer, is that similar? Is that
there's really nothing to work on? It's
okay.
It's like the Neptune. Well, here, let me show you.
And thanks for letting me derail the conversation and get selfishly get this information off you all. As I said, it's something I've been interested in for a long time. Something I messed around with.
This is it right here.
That is fun.
So,
and that's an FDM printer, right?
Yeah, your spool goes up here.
Okay.
It feeds down. This is your extruder and hot end.
Yeah.
And what happens is the build plate moves back and forth like this, and then the hot end moves back and forth like this, and up and down.
That is awesome.
You
still have your 3 axis of movement. You just have them on different locations.
Right. Right. You've got this. The build plate is your x-axis. The hot end goes back and forth across this rail in the y-axis, and then you've got the 2 legs for your z-axis.
Nice.
and then it's all worked on through the little pin pad here.
Oh, we're uptown.
That's how you control it.
I had to
you
have a
plug in
separate.
your
I had to have a separate tower for my 3D printer and a separate tower for my drafting program.
Nope. So what you do is on your computer, you use the slicing software to slice the STL into whatever format the printer can read. You save that to your thumb drive. You plug directly into it. Or this particular model, you can hardwire Ethernet, and you can print directly from your computer to the printer.
You know, that's something I might do. Is I might.
I'm gonna sneaker net it.
Yeah.
Use the thumb drive. We used to call that sneaker net.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't say too much because statute of limitations isn't up, but I did a few things to my school district's computers that way.
yeah. But the nice thing is the size is a lot smaller than like the one I've got now. Its base is 24 by 24.
Okay.
This one is
I think what I'll probably end up doing is I will probably hook my laptop up to my 3D printers and run all my programs on my desktop and then connect them through the cloud and the local area network and all that. And then whenever I need to print something, I just run over the laptop and go back to So, and Walkabout, I may have been, as I said, I've been out of the game a long time. So, when I was getting into it, it was new, and it was cool, but it couldn't do much. And now it seems like it's taken off like crazy. And as far as resin printing goes, did I understand right that it's basically a screen in a vat of resin, and the screen projects what it's trying to solidify?
Okay, so how it works is you've got a vat of resin
Okay.
that sits on the base of the printer. Underneath that is an LCD or LED.
Mhm.
And what'll happen is, like for instance, if I'm printing this ship, each layer, what you don't want to cure on that layer is blacked out.
Mhm.
So only what shows through is the reverse, as it were.
Awesome.
And the build plate goes into the vat, and it goes down, hits the bottom, lifts up just like that 30.35 millimeters.
Mhm.
The light shows, cures that level, comes up, comes back down to the next level. It builds up like that.
So it's almost the same technology they put braces on with, where they put resin on and then zap it with a UV light or something, and then
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. So the way I explain it to people, an FDM printer is like a dot matrix printer,
Right.
and a resin printer, an SLA printer, is like a laser printer. The reason why the FDM printer takes so long is each level has to be drawn out.
Yep.
Exactly. Whereas with the resin printer,
Here's nothing. Here's nothing. Here's
level
nothing.
is
Yep.
yeah. So
You're speaking my language there.
yeah.
So I appreciate that.
And they've got different uses for me. You know, the FDM printer is what I'm going to use to make that's what I did to make my island. You know, my Savo Island. It's what I use to make my Tantive 4 corridors. When I get it back up, I'll be able to print out more of my corridors so I can, because I want to build out the entirety of Tantive 4.
You need to do it.
Yeah.
See, and
So-
that's another thing I'm scared of with the 3D printing game is I want to game Star Wars, but I want to game it in 54 millimeter. And when I hit 3D printing, nothing's going to stop me because I'm immediately going to Skullforge.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not messing around with Legion anymore.
No.
So
No, I haven't bought a Legion model in 2 years.
there's nothing left that Skullforge hasn't covered.
Exactly.
So I am so surprised there hasn't been a cease and desist yet, but I'm hoping, hoping they're
Rumor has it he's got an inside okay.
okay.
He's got a secret. It's okay that you're doing this as long as it doesn't copy what Atomic Mass is doing. Pose for pose.
Which he's not going to do because it's already on the market. There's no way to.
Yep. No reason to do it.
Yeah. So that's
I'm. Once I get my M901s figured out why they're not printing, and get the 30 of them I need printed, I'm going to go back and get some of the Ahsoka stuff printed because I really want to get the Ahsoka stuff printed.
do it. And his stuff looks like it would scale up really well.
Probably will. I might test one of those for you. Kind of figure out
Yeah.
where it needs to be. What percentage it needs to be.
And I'm technically all 54 millimeter, but I
Mhm.
have two scales. I
Yeah,
have 135th and I have the 130th.
yeah.
And they're not entirely compatible.
So 135th scale, how tall is your standard dude?
That's a great question. Let me get my Wiley Games tape measure out. Because I think it's like 48 millimeters, but I'm not sure. That guy's on the larger side. That guy's standing up straight. Here we go. Well, he is at
From bottom of foot to top of head.
the top of head. He's at 52 and a half.
Okay.
But as I said, he may be on the taller side. Because I know some of these guys, let's see. This guy's going to be a little. Yeah, he's running about 52. Yeah, they're running about 52. But my quote unquote 54 millimeter are closer to 60. Like Wyatt Earp here. Wyatt Earp comes in at 60 millimeters. So
So see, what I want to do is find
is
a basic guy, and then figure out what the percentage is to upscale,
I got you.
and then everything else you just do to that percentage.
You know, as I said, as long as they're all in scale with each other, I really don't care if they're in scale
Yeah.
with one of my sets or one of the other sets, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to have the LAPD SWAT team face down B1 battle droids, although that would be cool.
That'd be
That would be really cool. And I need
Yeah.
to quit coming up with random scenarios that I want to play now. But yeah, as long as everything's in scale with each other, I don't care, because my terrain, all the terrain I have is usable for both sets.
right.
I mean, my doorways may be a little short, but I'm sorry, some doors are a little short.
Okay, so here is dude. Okay, he is standing 38.85 millimeters tall. And let me share with what I'm showing y'all.
I'm measuring a Legion model right now. You said 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stacks.
Okay, so this is the software that comes with the Elegoo Mars. It's called Chitu Box. This is one of the standard guys they've got. He's 38.85. You said 52 and a half?
52 and a half is 135th scale.
So 135.15. What would just 135 even be? Yeah, 52.44 millimeters would be 135%. So you upscale at 135%. All of them get scaled up 135%. Boom, done. It doesn't matter if they're kneeling or anything. You just set the percentage to 135.
Boom.
And you're done.
I'm unstoppable at this point.
Yeah.
That's going to save me a lot of money if I end up doing it too.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I told you what I'm paying per figure right now, and it's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I can't keep it up.
Let's see here. Where was
she? And if I get an FDM printer, I could continue my World War I trench sections at a lot cheaper.
Yes, you could.
Because instead of paying $40 per section, I can play like $5 or $6, worth of.
Yep.
I'm so in.
Exactly.
I'm so in.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I need to get into the game.
So here is another perfect example. So let's get her rotated, standing upright. Ah, damn it.
Takedown. Now, and as I said, I'm not asking you to. You don't have to. If you want to print out a test model, just to verify.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can compare scales, let's say March to Victory, because I think that's probably the next time we want to see each other. That wouldn't be half bad.
So, yeah, that's about right, because she is technically a little bit shorter.
And she's stooped a little too.
Yeah. And I just went in and made her 135%.
That is awesome.
It's that easy.
Well, and you know what my preferred period in Star Wars is.
Yeah.
It's after Revenge of the Sith and before Star Wars.
Yep.
I like running out of Phase 2 clones and wannabe rebels and Jedi that survived Order 66.
I have got Well, let's put it this way. I've got all the way back to June of 2022. Everything he's put out on his Patreon since June of 2022.
I need to just get on the Patreon now so I have the files when I get into 3D printing. I got half of mine too. But no, what I mean, obviously I was always a little bit into Star Wars, but I got into a book series called Last of the Jedi that was about a bunch of Jedi that had survived Order 66 and were trying to kind of form a rebellion after Revenge of the Sith. And I mean, the books have been out for almost 15 years now, so I'm not spoiling anything. They died a horrible death because Darth Vader. And it was just one of the coolest series that I read at that point. And so that era just kind of stuck. Oh, that's a cool figure. That'd be hard to paint, but that's a cool figure. He's giant. Love it.
Yeah, and again, he's stooped down.
He's imposing.
He's almost 53 millimeters tall, and this is from the
Rebels.
Show Kenobi.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Rebels when she slices his helmet.
Oh yeah, he'd be used in that also.
That is awesome. That'd be hard to paint, but that'd be really cool.
So yeah,
I need to. Yeah. But LAPD SWAT team versus B1s has got to happen now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because I've got the SWAT teams to do it now.
But yeah, so now, when you get into it, once you get and you'll be using the Chew Box software,
I'm sure.
And shit, if there's anything that you want that I already have, all I got to do is put it into my Chew Box, put it into the right scale, send it to you,
pop it over.
Yeah.
Well, I might take you up on that one of these days. But as I said, it's going to be a little bit. But oh man, because then like printing out obscure 1/35th scale weapons.
Oh yeah.
Because I was talking to McMurray about how insanely expensive some bits are that I need, and he's been very generous on that front. But I think 3D printing is going to help me quite a bit.
Yeah, it opens up. It opens up the world, the hobbying world, quite a bit.
How is the smell on the resin printers?
Mine is right there.
Okay.
6-7 feet away from me.
Doesn't bother you? Okay. Because
what bothers me is the vat of alcohol. When I open it up,
mm-hmm.
the overbearing
medicinal smell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I keep the lid on my printer over it.
Right.
The thing you do need to make sure of is that you don't get it put into direct sunlight.
Okay.
So because sunlight is at the right wavelength to cure the resin.
Good to know. So I got a window here. If I put it against this wall, I should be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you keep that? Do you keep the shades drawn?
Typically.
Mostly. Yeah. Mine is sitting in front of the window
mm-hmm.
with the shades drawn.
Okay. That's good.
But it's a direct sunlight thing. So, at night you can open up, not a problem. If that wall is constantly in shade, you should be okay.
It's a north facing
So-
wall, so I'm not usually too concerned.
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
going to be fine most of the time. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Walkabout Game says smells not a major issue with resin. It's the IPA. Yes, exactly. The IPA is what smells. Holy shit. Oh. Skelly Gremlin says I've never had a problem with the smell, but most new resin printers have charcoal filters for them now. Nicolay says, of course, if you use hash resin, the smell probably does not matter much. Completely different type of resin there, sir. Completely different type of, not the same at all. If you're using hash resin, you're really not worried about what scale anything is in at that point. Except for maybe I want a bigger Twinkie. So, well, we are going 2:20, and I got to get up early in the morning to go to work. Boo, work.
Yeah, I got to be up around 4, so I'm going to be into bed. So
Yeah. So,
I very, very much
Yeah, this-
appreciate it.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you've got any questions
Mhm.
about printing or what printers to look at, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with the Elegoo
Okay.
products. I really like them. I did like my N2, but a new one is like $3,700. I don't need that to build my toys.
Can you fix it for cheaper than that?
Oh shit, no, because they're not even making the parts for it anymore.
Gotcha. I don't know if you can buy it anyway, but
No, this is a 10-year-old printer at this point.
this is coming from a service tech that keeps 50-year-old pieces of equipment alive on the rig. So,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for everybody out there. Chris Long, Scala Gremlin, Nanguea Chris, Meandering Mike. It was great to see Jeffy. Let's see. We had Charles out there for a while. Telemachus. We didn't have a mutt sighting, but that's okay. Did have a Rocky sighting. Might see him from every now and again in the chat. So, we got that going for us. But again, thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. And if there's ever a topic y'all want to talk about, just let me know, or just bring it up in the chat. So, all right, guys. We will, like I said, this Saturday, gaming at Castle Von Wiley. At the very least, we'll have some photos. Hopefully, if I remember to take them. So yeah.
hopefully the
what we're
games are good enough you forget.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I roll.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. Appreciate it, one and all. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.